In this week's BlizzPro Weekly, BlizzCon Virtual Tickets go on sale, WoW Patch 5.4 releases, and we find out the identity of the new Warchief. StarCraft Universe gets funded, Diablo III console demos are now available, and why the coin in Hearthstone may not be as overpowered as people think. Hey everybody, welcome to the newest episode of BlizzPro Weekly. As always, I'm your fantastically bearded host. I'm trying to grow it up onto the cheeks a little bit now, so it's a little uneven, but I'm thickening up for the winter. Chris Arnone. All right, let's talk BlizzCon, all right? Now, tickets for BlizzCon 2013 sold out in record time, as usual, and if you weren't quick enough to get your hands on one or you couldn't make the trek out to Anaheim later this year, don't despair. The BlizzCon Virtual Ticket is back. Priced at just $39.99 versus the $175 you got to pay for a regular ticket, the virtual tickets ensure that you'll still have access to a live video stream of events at the convention. Now, esports fans will be able to watch the WCS live stream from the con via StarCraft II's WCS site with or without a ticket. So don't get it just for that. Get it for all the other cool stuff. Now, the same exclusive digital items are also going to be included with this as what actual attendees will get in Anaheim, and the ability to purchase BlizzCon's event merchandise. And who knows what else at this point? That's just what we know so far. It's all of the experience without having to leave the comfort of your own home or, put on pants. And really that's what I'm not looking forward to. An entire weekend of having to wear pants. Fucking people. Anyway, you can purchase your ticket from Blizzard directly, or if you have DirecTV, you can go sort of a pay-per-view route. Now, unlike physical tickets, there's no limit to how many of these they're going to sell. So you can snag one and invite all your friends over to watch with you. BlizzCon 2013 and its live stream will take place on Friday, November 8th and Saturday, November 9th. And of course, we will be there in full force to give you all the details, interviews, and, gameplay hands-on write-ups. Everything, all video. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy good time. We will be there. For more information, of course, you just go to the BlizzCon site at us.battle.net/BlizzCon. Let's talk World of Warcraft.
Here's the beef.
Seeing as how we've been talking about this for the last few weeks, the day has finally arrived. Patch 5.4, the final raid tier patch in Mists of Pandaria, launched this week. The Alliance and Horde will be joining forces to lay siege to Orgrimmar and take out Warchief Garrosh, and they can pay for the war crimes he's committed against both Alliance and Horde and the Pandaren. Now, we've talked in depth about this in past episodes, about everything to expect in patch 5.4. So we're not going to go really detailed into that list again. Just go check out our old videos if you really want to see everything that's going on. But a quick list here, all right? Flex Rating, Proving Grounds, the Timeless Isle, and the Celestial Tournament. Lastly, Connected Realms are not out yet, but are planned to be later on in the patch. Last night, the first guilds were able to take down Garrosh in normal mode, and were presented with an ending cinematic that had not been data mined. Now, there's both a Horde version and an Alliance version, so depending on which faction you're playing, when you defeat Garrosh, you're going to get a different video. Now, if you want to watch those videos, they are right here on our YouTube channel already. But please be aware, obviously, they have spoilers, so if you really don't want to be spoiled, you want to experience it yourself, avoid them for now. But of course, you can always also, say you're playing Horde, check out Alliance, check out the other one. It's going to be all kinds of good stuff. So feel free to watch it here and find exactly who the new Warchief is for the Horde. How about StarCraft II?
You want a piece of me, boy?
So recently, a mod that some fans were making for StarCraft II Arcade has been fully funded on Kickstarter. The makers of StarCraft Universe reached their goal of $80,000. The StarCraft Universe is a fan-made item with Blizzard's blessing and will be available absolutely for free on the StarCraft II Arcade, which you can access with a free starter edition of StarCraft II. So really, you can play this game completely for free. Now, it's going to be a multiplayer online RPG, but not an MMO since it misses out on that massive element. It tells a story in an alternate reality where the ending of StarCraft II Wings of Liberty has a bit more of a grim ending for Kerrigan. Without the Queen of Blades to stop the Hybrid's assault, the Protoss are overwhelmed and wiped out. The game will explore that story and what happens in the world based around those events. The game will feature fully voice-acted cutscenes, new art models, weapons, vehicles, unique character classes, and more. As of right now, you can play the demo on the arcade. The full version, now fully funded, will hopefully hit sometime in the near future. Stock Diablo III.
Stay a while and listen.
So for those folks interested in trying out Diablo III for the console, it is available right now as a free demo for both PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Now right now their limitation, it's very similar to what the beta was on the PC, level 9, and you can only access up to the Skeleton Key. However, if you've been considering getting the game for the console and you want to try it out for free, see what it's like compared to the PC version, you can go do it now, absolutely free. Now we will say the console version has been a lot of fun. GR recently had it at his bachelor party. It was a big hit for the evening. There's just something about getting together with a bunch of friends on the couch, or in this case a hotel room, queen-size bed or two, and bashing demons and collecting loot that makes the game just really cool, addicting, and fun to play. Not to mention, the game was obviously really well designed for the console, the way they moved it over. Alright, enough about that. It seems the upcoming Book of Tyrael will not be the only link between the Diablo III Classic and the Reaper of Souls expansion. Now, Blizzard recently announced Storm of Light, a novel by Nate Kenyon, which will also take place between those two games. The novel is set to pick up immediately after the events of Act 4 and jump right into the growing conflict within Angiris Council over what to do with the Black Soulstone. Alright, now Tyrael takes action to rid Heaven of the Soulstone's corrupting influence and reforms a new Heraldric order to steal the Soulstone and hide it in Sanctuary. Now in Storm of Light, we'll also see some familiar faces from previous stories in the Diablo universe. We're going to catch up with the main characters of the Diablo 3 comic, Jacob, Shannara, and Ginvir, and get to see what they've been up to since the events in the battles near Stallbreak. Now, making another return will be the monk Mikolov from Nate Kenyon's previous Diablo novel, The Order. Now, most surprising of all is the character known as Zale. Now, Zale's a necromancer and a prominent character in Richard A. Knack's Diablo novels, The Kingdom of the Shadow, and Moon of the Spider. Now, what has Zale been up to all these years? How did the other necromancers take his slaying of one of the most famous members of their order? And will he give up the teachings of Rathma and join the Heraldric? Storm of Light will be releasing in February 2014. Now keep in mind, the Order released the same day as Diablo III launched. So maybe this is an indicator of how soon we're going to see Blizzard releasing Reaper of Souls? It could be. Enough demon hunters. Let's talk Hearthstone.
Pull up a chair by the hearth.
So there's been a lot of debate online right now about the coin card in Hearthstone. Now for those of you who are unfamiliar, if you go second in a match, you get a coin card. It costs 0 mana and says gain 1 mana this turn only. So basically for one turn, you can spend an extra mana. You don't have to use it immediately, you can save it and use it later. Now the real power behind the coin, however, comes that it counts as a spell and can set off combos. So especially for rogues, where you get that first turn coin and combo into a Defias Ringleader for 2 mana, alright, so you do that, you have a 2/3 minion. And what he does is if he combos, in other words, you've already played another card when you play Defias Ringleader, it also summons a 2/1 minion on that turn. So now you have a 2/3 and a 2/1, bam, your first turn. Now the coin can also activate on Questing Adventurer, which is a 2/2 minion for 3 mana, which gains +1/+1 permanently for each card in play that you play. So imagine playing as a rogue again, and third turn you drop a Questing Adventurer, play the coin, play Backstab, which also costs 0 mana, kill off one of your opponent's minion, and then you play, say, the Leper Gnome for 1 mana. Suddenly you have a 5/5 that's going to keep getting bigger next turn, and a 2/1 on the field with Leper Gnome, which also, when it dies, does 2 damage to the enemy hero. So there's been a lot of debate that players who go on second have a pretty strong advantage. However, not so. Numbers don't lie, alright? Hearthstone game designer Ben Brody, he made a post earlier today on the Hearthstone forums about the coin and how it came into existence. Now, before the coin existed, players who went first had a massive advantage winning the game. One thing he points out is that you get to spend 3 mana before your opponent does, and 4 mana, and 5 mana. So that means that you can respond to your opponent's 2 mana play with a 3 mana card, but your opponent only had 2 mana to respond to your 2 mana play. Now, going first also means you're usually the one choosing who to attack, which puts you at the advantage of being offensive while your opponent immediately is going to have to play defensively. Second reason is because you get more total mana than your opponent. Say if the game ends on turn 7, the player who went first had access to a total of 28 mana throughout the game, while their opponent only had access to 21 since they haven't had their turn at the 7 mana yet. Now this put player 1 at so much of an advantage that they were winning, check this, 20% more than the player who goes second. That's crazy unbalanced. Now one method they were trying out is the second player would start with 5 more life. And while this brought the percentages a little closer, it still kept feeling like, you were losing a lot if you were going second. So they tried out the coin as a way to be able to respond to the whole 2 mana play with a 3 mana card, that whole thing. Something player 1 gets to enjoy all the time, but it gives player 2 the opportunity to swing the momentum back around. Since the implementation of that, it is only 4.4% better to go first on average. So 52.2% of the time, player 1 wins. In Master League, all right, much more skilled players, much better decks, it's only better 0.07% of the time, all right? So it's only 50.4% of the time that player 1 is winning. Now, so there's still a minuscule advantage to going first. It's much closer to the even rather than 20% that it was before. Some classes, however, are still faring better, such as the Rogue is winning 51.5% of the time when they go second because of all their combo effects. The Priest is also doing pretty well. Now, he did specifically call out Defias Ringleader scenario, and he said the coin might be a little strong in that aspect, so they might try to do some balance changes in a future patch. So with that said, while some players feel like the coin is giving way too much of an advantage, the numbers aren't really reflecting that. The player who goes first is still getting an advantage in the game and not the other way around. Like I said, before I read these show notes, by the way, I was told like, oh, the coin is stupid. The coin always fucks me over. Well, apparently, it doesn't so much. I need to play Rogue more. But we want to know what you guys think. Do you think the coin's overpowered? Do the numbers totally just like blow your mind and set the record straight? Would you like to see another method? Blizzard always wants your constructive criticism, a better method for trying to balance the game between who goes first and who goes second. We would love to hear your thoughts. And of course, we'll pass things along. And Blizzard themselves probably reads the comments anyway. I'm not just boasting. All right, no bitch session today. We talked a lot about the coin instead. So, I'm all over the internet. Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. I'm a Goodreads author. Check me out. Of course, subscribe and listen to Twizcast, our official podcast. And of course, BlizzPro.com, all the news, reviews, interviews, everything you need to know about Blizzard Entertainment games. Stay beardy, my friends.